Hey modular people! Today we are building the WGD Modular Apple Pi. But what does it do? The Apple Pi is a generative music powerhouse with 2 channels of looping or not random CV and gates. It has a clock on board but can also be clocked externally. I'll explain how to build it, how to flash the firmware, and then we'll jam a little. This video was brought to you by Felix from WGD Modular, who sent me this kit in exchange for this video. Go support your local module makers. This is a rather simple build with all SMD components already pre-soldered, and you only need to add jacks, potentiometers, LEDs, headers and a switch. These parts don't come with a PCB and panel set. I've sourced mine from the list Felix provides, which is linked down in the video description. Start off with the headers on the back. Use something to prop up the PCB and just solder a single pin first to make sure they're sitting flat. Flip the board around and start placing all other components. Be careful with the LEDs since they are polarized. The shorter leg goes into the square hole. Depending on where you buy your potentiometers, they might have some little locating pins you need to snip off so they can sit flush with the panel. Once all components are on the PCB, carefully align them with the panel holes and secure the whole assembly with some nuts. I usually add one on all the outer edges. Now you can solder everything. Depending on your LED type, you might want to either push them through all the way or add some tape to keep them flush with the panel. It really helps to just solder one leg first and adjust until you're happy. Now add the rest of the pot and jack nuts and tighten them either with your fingers, one of these 3D printed tools, or a pair of pliers, but be careful to not scratch the panel. Add some nice knobs and the build is complete. Now onto flashing the firmware. It's a rather simple process. I just followed the official guide linked below. Open up the Arduino IDE, go to Tools, Manage Libraries and install the MCP48XX library, which is required for the next step. Open the INO file and get your programmer ready. I've used one of these cheap USB ASP boards and I've struggled with getting it to work. The fix was rather simple and already explained by Felix. Simply set the jumper J3 on your programmer. Set the selected board to Arduino Nano and the processor to ATmega 328P. Choose the port the programmer is connected to and set the programmer to USB ASP. Connect your module, hit Upload using programmer, and you're done. I really enjoy these smaller SMD pre-soldered builds. They take around half an hour to complete and there isn't a lot that can go wrong. Perfect for a nice after-work DIY project. Now let's jam. I won't explain much, but I've linked Felix's walkthrough if you want to know how it works in detail. Thank you for watching, and thanks to Felix for providing this kit. See you in the next one. Cheers!